Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It's great to be together this evening virtually to celebrate Shabbat. It is a special Shabbat this evening. It is Pink Shabbat, held in solidarity with all those suffering from breast and ovarian cancer. And we have a very special guest speaker who will be joining us this evening, Nancy Cohen from Sharsheret. We're looking forward to hearing her speak at the conclusion of our service this evening. So I hope everybody had a wonderful week. I want to tell you that the light of Judaism continues to burn and glow. The eternal light above me continues to glow. However, I just discovered this evening that the lights in the ark are not on. So when I open the ark and you don't see the lights, you'll understand that the flame of Judaism goes on, but we need to change our light bulbs and call the electrician. So there you go. All right, friends, let us begin our service this evening now on page 12 of the prayer book. Page 12, we begin with Lechu Niranina.
Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Ladonai, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Ladonai, Nadria, Letzur Yishenu Nikad Mafanav Betodah, Nadria, Letzur Yishenu Bezmirot Nadri Allah, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Ladonai, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Ladonai.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
And we also have Kevin here in our sanctuary. Shabbat Shalom. And Tommy, who's filming. It's great to be together with everybody. We are going to continue our service now on pages 2 and 3 with the blessing for the Shabbat candles. You are welcome to rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with your commandments and commands us to kindle the light of You may be seated. Our service continues now on page 4. Vayihi Erev, Vayihi Voker, Yom HaShishi. And there was evening, and there was morning, the 6th day.
Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chok tziva'am. Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chok tziva'am. Vayachol Elohim bayom hashvi'i l'achto asher asa. Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol l'achto asher צבאם ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם.
We rise now for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reshit kilu yom techilah l'mikroi chodesh zecher l'tzias nitzrayim kivanu v'chota miotanu kidashta mikomin v'shabbat kodshecha v'ava uvratzon hinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. You may be seated. I'll be reading now on page 5. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage, as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Our service continues now on page 13 with Shiru L'Adonai, Psalm 96.
Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Sapru v'goyim kivodo, b'chol amim nifleo tov, ki gadol Adonai umholol me'od, norahu al kol Elohim. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. ועמים באמונתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו.
Sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Sing to Adonai, bless God's name. Proclaim God's victory day after day. Our service continues now with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 26.
יתקדש, יתקדש שמי רבה, ויעלמד יפרח אלוהי, וימליך חפותי, בחי יכול וביום יכול, ובחיי יכול בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתהלל, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשם, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשביחתה ונחמתה, דמירן מעלמה, ויאמרו אמן.
We turn now to page 28 as we rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, la 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 la, Baruch Hu et
You may be seated. Our service continues on page 30 with the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, behochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzivaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And we continue now on page 33. Oh, excuse me, page 32. We continue with Ahavat Olam, page 32. Thank you, Cantor. Our service continues now with the Shema, pages 34 and 35. You are welcome to rise. Please be seated. We continue on page 36 with Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Our service continues now on page 40 with Mi Chamocha. Our service continues now on page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Our service continues now on page 44 with Vishamro.
Vishamro, Vishamro, B'nai Israel, et ha-Shabbat, La'asot, et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam. Beini oven B'nai Israel, oti le'olam. Beini oven B'nai Israel, oti le'olam. Vishamro, Vishamro, B'nai Israel, et ha-Shabbat, La'asot, et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz. Vishamro, Vishamro, B'nai Israel, et ha-Shabbat, La'asot, et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinofash. Uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinofash. Vishamro, Vishamro, B'nai Israel, et ha-Shabbat, La'asot, et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam.
Our service continues now on page 46 with the tefillah. You are welcome to rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agiti latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Yezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav Loshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Modrid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim b'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol b'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim v'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Kayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bala Givrot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Michayeh hakol. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You are welcome to be seated. Our service continues now on page 60 with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. We continue now on page 61 of the prayer book. This will be our prayer for our country this evening. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We turn ahead in the prayer book now to page 259, page 259 for the prayer for the state of Israel. Before we offer this prayer, I'm sure you are aware that Israel signed another normalization agreement just today with the country of Sudan. This is the third normalization agreement with Israel and an Arab country in the last number of weeks, and we are very pleased that peace continues to spread. For the state of Israel. Shalu, Shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayo Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu shu bashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. This time we turn back in the prayer book to page 253, as we prepare to offer the Misha Berach. We call to mind all those in our lives in need of healing. whether that be a healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. If there's someone in your life in need of a healing prayer, feel free to type in their name now into the YouTube comments so that we may pray for them as well. Mishaberach, Avotenu, Vimotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, V'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion, for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. We take a few moments now for our own silent prayer and reflection.
Shalom, Shalom Aleinu,
Thank you, Cantor. Now it is the fourth Friday of the month. It's time for anniversary blessings. So, if you are celebrating an anniversary in the month of October, please now feel free to type in your name in YouTube. Give us your name, the date of your wedding, and how long you've been married. Please feel free to type that right in now. We'll offer our anniversary blessings and then wish a mazel tov to all our anniversaries. And here is our blessing. Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine, from the Song of Songs. O God, eternal source of blessing, we turn to you in gratitude for the strength and devotion that has preserved and sustained these couples and permitted them to reach this day. Many and varied have been their experiences since the day of their wedding. Many have been the mingled occasions of victory and defeat, of fulfillment and disappointment. In joys and trials alike, they have supported one another. May God shelter you by day, give you rest at night, and send good companions to go with you on the way. May this hour offer a happy amen to the hopes and prayers of your wedding day and the joyous years to come, as we say together, amen. So I'd like to wish a mazel tov here to Lillian and Mark, married on October 17th, 27 years, and Susan and Stephen, October 16th. Mazel tov, congratulations. And now let us join together in Shechianu for our anniversary. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another one. Barry and Iris are on October 1st, 38 years. So let us now join together for the Shechianu prayer. Our service will continue now with the Aleinu prayer, page 282 of the prayer book. As I mentioned at the beginning of the service, the light of Judaism shines on. The lights in our ark need to be repaired by the electrician by next Shabbat. So you'll see the ark's a little dark, but the light inside our souls burns on. So let us continue now with the Aleinu prayer, page 282. Please rise.
Torah,
turn now to page 294 in the prayer book. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we recall for Kaddish Stuart Cutler, brother of Francine Cutler Reiner, and Gail Jaffe, loved one of Ellen King. And we remember for Yahrzeit Shirley Baum, Stanley Berman, Max I. Divac, Percy Nathan Elijah Walwatker, Michael Karp, Bertha Plitt, Glenn Post, Leon Richter, Marilyn Richter, Robert Soler, Bella Turchin, Manny Wilner, Philip Epstein, Rosalind Feit, Helen Freed, Esther Friedlander, Shirley Ganser, Arlene Ray Gordon, Charles Hamburg, Harry Katz, Rose Kornbluth, Elsie Lubin, Isidore Reba, Ruth Resnick, and Lucille Stahl. You are welcome to rise now as we recall our loved ones and we join in reciting the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam u'elmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Thank you, Cantor and Kevin, for our beautiful music this evening. This concludes our Shabbat service, and now it's my pleasure. We will continue with our guest speaker. Tonight is Pink Shabbat. Pink Shabbat is held in October in support of those and their families confronting breast and ovarian cancer. I would like to thank Lillian Moore for helping us to bring Pink Shabbat to the temple each year. Tonight, we are very pleased to welcome Nancy Cohen from Sharsheret to speak with us on Zoom. Sharsheret offers cancer support at every stage. They seek to improve the lives of Jewish women and families living with breast or ovarian cancer through support and to save lives through educational outreach. I think Nancy's going to mention this, but I'm the rabbi. I'm going first, so I'm going to do it myself. At the temple, we have a strong connection to Sharsheret. Melissa Rosen grew up here at Temple B'nai Shalom and is the daughter of our longtime members, Ron and Judy Kahn. Melissa is the Director of Training and Education at Sharsheret. And so tonight, we are very pleased to welcome Nancy Cohen. She is the Long Island Program Coordinator for Sharsheret. She is a graduate of Cornell University and the Hofstra University School of Law. And on Long Island, she is responsible for coordinating outreach and educational programming for women and families. Shabbat Shalom, Nancy. Thank you for being with us this evening on Zoom, and we're going to hand it over to you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi, Cantor, synagogue leadership, the entire community for having me here with you for tonight's Pink Shabbat. Thank you, Tommy, for coordinating the Zoom and the logistics. But most importantly, thank you for making breast cancer awareness a priority within your congregation. My name is Nancy Cohen, and as the rabbi stated, I'm the Long Island Program Coordinator for Sharsheret. Tonight, though I will be speaking through the lens of breast cancer, I would like to speak to you about empowerment and about healing. We are living in unprecedented and uncertain times, and so much is out of our control. My hope is that the information that I share with you tonight will empower you to take control of what you can, be proactive about your health, and by fostering a caring and supporting community. I will start by telling you a bit about Sharsheret, discuss why breast and ovarian cancer are Jewish issues. I will empower you to determine your personal risk and to mitigate it, and then talk about healing in the age of COVID. So just quickly for background, Sharsheret is a national not-for-profit organization that provides culturally meaningful support to women and families of all Jewish backgrounds. We support those facing breast or ovarian cancer and those at increased genetic risk. We support people throughout their cancer journey, before diagnosis, during treatment, and into survivorship. Since our founding 19 years ago, we have connected with over 150,000 women, families, healthcare, and other professionals, as well as students on college and high school campuses. Sharsheret is the Hebrew word for chain or connection. The organization's name, Sharsheret, comes from the belief that no one should be alone in their breast or ovarian cancer journey. At Sharsheret, we are often asked, why does there need to be a Jewish organization? And the answer is a Jewish organization for breast and ovarian cancer. And the answer is that the Jewish community is hard hit by both breast and ovarian cancer. And there are genetic as well as cultural and religious reasons that Sharsheret is needed. While most breast cancer diagnoses are random, a small but significant percentage are hereditary. In the general community, 1 in every 500 people carries a mutation on their BRCA gene that raises their risk of breast cancer. In our community, that number is 1 in 40. I want to repeat that, 1 in 40. That number is 10 times higher than the general population. And if you do carry that mutation, your lifetime risk of diagnosis is up to 88% for breast cancer and approximately 45% for ovarian cancer. Those numbers are staggering. A BRCA or BRCA mutation also raises the risk for prostate, pancreatic, colon, melanoma, and male breast cancer. And it's not just BRCA. Genes such as CHEK2, PALB2, ATM, and others can lead to a heightened risk of breast or related cancers. At Sharsheret, we have a unique ability to address many religious and cultural issues facing Jewish women with breast cancer. Frequently, women have questions regarding the permissibility of tattooing, which may be necessary for certain treatments. Women sometimes ask for help navigating the mikveh or ritual bath in relation to their cancer experience. They may never have been before, but would like to immerse as a way to heal after diagnosis or treatment. Or they wonder how they can celebrate the holidays despite their health or their mood. Can you imagine how difficult it must be after diagnosis to attend the high holiday services, which we just passed, and hear the Unatan Tokef? Who shall live and who shall die? Or maybe if you were the person who made all the holidays, to face this year's holidays knowing that you can't make the extended family Seder, forget about COVID, just knowing that you won't have the strength to do it. In addition, a cancer diagnosis often brings a woman's relationship with God into the foreground of her thoughts. Some women take great comfort in that relationship and seek it out. Others may feel that their faith is in crisis. Sharsheret understands this shifting relationship with religion and spirituality and is here to help. I want to note that while Sharsheret has an expertise in the unique issues facing the Jewish community, we have no religious agenda. We help all women, no matter their connection to Judaism. People who connect with us range from unaffiliated to ultra-Orthodox to having no connection to Judaism. And about 25% of the people we support are not Jewish. I want to tell you quickly about some of our programs. Sharsheret has 12 national programs that offer psychosocial support, each completely individualized and completely free for every caller. We have a peer support network, which matches women with someone who shares their exact diagnosis, stage of life, and relationship to Judaism. We also have programs addressing genetics and a free genetic counselor on staff. We have a program for young families raising young children, and program to address the cosmetic side effects of cancer. We have a survivorship program focusing on healthy living, and unique programs for those living with advanced or metastatic cancer. We also have a robust outreach and education department, which I am a part of. Throughout the country, we work with rabbis, Jewish professionals, national cancer organizations, hospitals, and healthcare professionals, training them on how to best support those facing breast and ovarian cancer. We also educate women and families in every single state, helping to raise awareness and teaching them to be proactive about their health. We have multiple ways for people to get involved, whether it is joining us for one of our educational webinars, or an exercise or cooking class, or joining our Thanksgiving Pies for Prevention bake sale, or organizing an event. You can find a way to get involved that meets your needs and interests and helps continue Sharsheret's chain of support. I would now like to share a story with you. Maybe you already know someone who's been helped by Sharsheret. Maybe even you've been helped. Maybe this event is the start of your Sharsheret story, and you will continue to be involved with this important issue. The story I want to share is about my friend and esteemed colleague, Melissa Rosen. Melissa, who the rabbi mentioned, grew up in this congregation, and some or many of you may know her. And Melissa is a 2-time cancer survivor. 6 years ago, Melissa was diagnosed with breast cancer. The breast cancer was a result of radiation from a previous cancer. Melissa and her doctor were able to find this cancer because she was being monitored on a regular basis by a program that alternated between mammograms and high-tech MRIs. It was the MRI that caught her breast cancer. Melissa relied on Sharsheret during her treatment. She then began working at Sharsheret, helping women and their families facing breast cancer every day. The reason I share Melissa's story is to talk about empowerment. Melissa, in conjunction with her doctor, made a plan to closely monitor herself, and they adhered to that plan. Her decision to be proactive and to closely monitor her health helped her find her cancer at an earlier stage than she otherwise might have. And as we know, early detection can make a big difference. My hope tonight is that if you take away one point from this program, it is to take personal responsibility for your health. So how can we be proactive and mitigate our risks? I want to make clear that I am not offering medical advice. As the rabbi mentioned, I'm an attorney, or was one at some point. I'm not a medical professional and am not qualified to offer such advice. But what I can do is ask you to know yourself and to know your family history. History is instructive in so many ways. And when it comes to your health, it can give you a framework for being proactive. As I mentioned earlier, 1 in 40 Ashkenazi Jews will have a mutation on their BRCA gene. This results in a lifetime risk of breast cancer of up to 88% and up to a 45% risk of ovarian cancer. Sephardic Jews may have a predisposition as well. And it's also really important to note, some people don't know this, that men carry the BRCA mutation as often as women do. And as such, the mutation can be passed down as easily from your father's side as from your mother's side. So I urge you to take this time, when so many of us are home due to COVID, to learn your family cancer history on both sides of your family. Talk to your parents, aunts, uncles, and grandparents if you can. Ask if anyone in your family has had breast, ovarian, or any other related cancer. Ask if anyone has had genetic counseling or knows that they are a carrier of a BRCA or other mutation. There is a challenge in many Jewish families, as many of our relatives perished in the Holocaust, and we do not have complete family histories. There was also a taboo in many families about talking about cancers and sharing information. This was the case in my family, where we were told that my grandmother died of a woman's cancer, but were never given any more information. When you gather this information, if you have any questions, we encourage you to reach out to our genetic counselor and, of course, consult with your medical professional. Another way to empower yourself is by knowing your own body. Know what is normal for your body, and if something seems wrong, please do not hesitate to see a doctor. Early detection is critically important. Another way to be proactive is by healthy living. Take responsibility for your own health, not just your breast health. Eat well, exercise, reduce stress where possible. These things actually do mitigate your risk. And if a diagnosis does occur, being healthy will allow you to heal and to fight, and it will reduce your chances of reoccurrence. I also want to implore you not to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Make small changes, and if you don't meet your expectations, let it go. Tomorrow is a new day. Another very important way to live a healthy lifestyle is by committing to appropriate screenings, as I mentioned in my story about Melissa. Please, please don't push them off. If your child had a lingering cough, would you ignore it or would you take them to the pediatrician to check it out? In a similar vein, I'm sure you would make sure that your child got their annual physical and would not skip it. We need to be an example for our children. If we don't take care of ourselves, how will our child of 3 or 30 know that it's okay and important to take care of themselves? COVID is not an excuse to postpone healthy living. In some parts of our country, cancer screening is down as much as 90%. The National Cancer Institute believes that COVID-19 will negatively impact cancer deaths for the next decade because of delayed diagnosis and altered treatment plans. Please do not delay your screenings. All these things that I just spoke about will help lower your risk. Unfortunately, they cannot prevent diagnosis or all diagnosis. However, should a diagnosis occur, they will help you get diagnosed sooner, and that will not only increase your chance of survival, but may also allow for less invasive treatment. Lastly, being healthy gives us strength to heal. 2020 has presented us with so many unexpected challenges and so many unexpected connections to the cancer experience. As individuals and as a community, we are all in need of healing and support in a way that we may not have been in the past. We have lost our regular physical connection and the physical community that so many of us rely on. And while these are scary times for everyone, they are even scarier for someone who may be immunocompromised. For those facing cancer or any diagnosis, they may be more isolated now than ever due to the risk of leaving home. So what can we do as a community? We can come together to support our own mental health, the mental health of individual synagogue members, and to protect the overall well-being of the community. For members facing illness, the community can organize support. You can check in with a phone call or a Zoom call, or just drop an email. You can offer to shop for someone, do a door-drop meal, occupy their children, and most importantly, let them know that they are cared for, a part of a community, and not alone. As a community, you can participate in collective prayers or a healing service at synagogue. And you can all join in synagogue programs that enhance a sense of community, because these programs are more critical now than ever. Finally, we can also take this difficult time as an opportunity to grow and to learn. The restrictions placed upon us as a result of this pandemic have given us insight into the lives of those facing cancer or other illness. Like cancer patients, we are now learning to live with uncertainty and concerns about hygiene and germ spread. We are learning to live with temporary loss of our physical communities, and we have a better understanding of what it means to be isolated and scared about our health and about our future. These insights and the skills we learn during this unprecedented time will better enable us to take care of our community members who will face illness and restriction beyond the time of this pandemic. We are now experiencing an instruction manual, so to speak, to help those in need, not just today, but as we move beyond this pandemic. As I conclude my presentation, I invite each and every one of you to create your own Sharsheret story. Consider the information I've shared today and use it to please be proactive about your health. Join Sharsheret for one of our many upcoming events, including our upcoming book club with Letty Cotton Pogrebit, or our Thanksgiving Pies for Prevention sale. Refer a friend in need or someone who just may have some questions for our genetic counselor. And finally, follow us on Facebook and Instagram so that you can learn more about our programming and resources. I thank you for allowing me to join you this evening, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom, good health, and continued strength from community.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I really appreciate your words and thoughts this evening for us and for all of us watching on YouTube. I did want to ask you a question, which is it possible to, no matter where you are in the country, to be able to participate in Sharsheret? Hold on, we're going to go. Hold on, Nancy. We got to go back to you. Hold on.
Absolutely. Even before the pandemic, all of Sharsheret's resources were virtual. They were accessible by the internet. No matter where you are in the country, you can receive support from our social workers, our genetic counselors. We have offices across the country, so we're available at different time zones. But not only can you reach people and get our resources at any position, but if you're looking for peer support, we have the ability to connect you with somebody who has a very similar story because our database spans the entire country and we have wide resources.
Very good. Thank you. Also, I was really struck by when you were speaking about how with COVID, people are delaying their diagnoses and delaying their treatments. And obviously, that's so important for breast cancer and for all ailments. And as you said, we need to keep up with our health. Health is number one. So that is a very important message we get out to our congregation. So thank you for that. So Nancy, thank you very, very much for being with us, and please keep up your good work, and I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
All right, friends, it was wonderful to have Nancy Cohen here for our Pink Shabbat. At this time, I'd like to share just a couple of announcements before we conclude our service. You're welcome to join us this coming Monday at 7 p.m. for our Adult Education Film Series virtual event, Rafting to Bombay. And Shabbat services, of course, continue next Friday evening at 8 p.m. with our virtual Shabbat service. And now to conclude this evening, we will offer the Bore Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Stay safe and healthy and have a wonderful and good week.